city of 134,000 is becoming an arts district. Scammers will try to target victims by either phone or computer. And a family of 8 people now having to search tonight for a place to stay. People trying to cross from Waco Commons to the neighborhood across the street would have to cross 3 lanes of cars going east. Again, authorities say unattended cooking was the cause of that fire. An autopsy has been sent for the 3 children's bodies. Residents in 5 Central Texas counties now have the option to text their emergency to police. Before you ring somebody's doorbell or knock on somebody's door. That means Snyder's gonna run through Hewitt's 250 streets. That's roughly about 80 miles. I just made a new friend here at the Bell County Youth Fair, and you can meet him too. And whether you're Team Gryffindor or Team Slytherin, the fun extends past Harry Potter. The Bell County Comic-Con kicks off this weekend. It may not look like it just yet, but it is beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Imagine receiving an important email from your boss asking you to transfer a large sum of money to an account.
Fox 44's Nohely Mendoza joins us live now in the control room with more on the risks that students face. Nohely?
Leslie, Robert, every district is different, but they do generally follow the same guidelines when it comes to threat consequences. I'm standing in front of the home where 4 people were arrested after police found 3 children, ages 2 and 1, covered in feces. It's pretty simple, right? You're selling something online, someone says they're interested, sends you a check, and you're done, right? Wrong. The FAA says Kissinger left Wiley Post Airport in the afternoon, but then diverted southeast and headed out into the Gulf of Mexico. Demolition is well underway on the 50-year-old Owen Lane water tower. To help both their causes, I'll have details on our website, centexproud.com.
Our own Nohely Mendoza has more on the annual observance. Good morning, Nohely.
Good morning, Chris and Lisa. The bill called the American Health Care Act would reduce the number of those insured. The attack is the first direct American assault on the Syrian government and President Trump's most dramatic military order since becoming president just over 2 months ago, but are not revealing any details. They do say he was inspired by Islamic extremism. Survivors of the deadly shooting rampage at a Parkland, Florida high school are leading thousands today in a March for Our Lives in Washington. They're delivering their pleas for stricter gun control laws. Group chat messages showed he was obsessed with race, violence, and guns. So Michelle, it's been pretty warm and muggy outside. What can people expect tomorrow? A teenage boy is dead and his brother is in serious condition after they were attacked by their parents during a church counseling session. And the Obama administration says it will send up to 450 additional troops to Iraq in order to help the country in the fight against ISIS.
Fox 44's Nohely Mendoza spoke with McLennan County Sheriff Parnell McNamara to get his firsthand account of what happened 25 years ago. She joins us live inside the control room tonight, picking up that story with ATF agents losing the element of surprise.
Leslie, Robert, Sheriff McNamara says that's when David Koresh ordered a call to arms. They say he told them to grab guns, grab ammunition, and get ready for a fight.
Of course, nobody dreamed that it was going to turn out like that.
Sheriff Parnell McNamara says it was on this morning, 25 years ago today, that his life and the life of many others would never be the same.
It's something that took place that I don't know that any of us will ever totally get over it. I know I won't.
He, along with several U.S. Marshals, members of the Sheriff's Office, Waco Police, ATF agents, DEA agents, IRS agents, and DPS Narcotics were at the 2nd Command Post waiting for the all clear.
We were just kind of laughing and talking. Then all of a sudden, an ATF car drives up right to us and said, "We're in a terrible shootout. We got people shot, maybe dead."
That's when hearts dropped.
You could hear the big stuff, boom, boom.
All they could do was listen. Listen to the pleas for help and to a battle they couldn't join.
As a police officer, you're trained to go to the sound of firing. Always go back up another officer. But let's go, we got 100 guys here. You know, they've got a fight going on, and they said, no, everybody's got to stay here.
4 federal agents were killed and 14 others wounded. That day started what would become a 51-day siege.
I said, they'll come out when that gas hits them.
April 19th, FBI agents began a gas attack. Hours later, flames could be seen coming from the compound.
I told the lady that was in my office, I said, your daughter's still in there, isn't she? And she said, yes, and God, I wish I was in there with them. And right then I knew that they weren't coming out.
Only a handful escaped the fire. 76 stayed inside the burning building.
We knew everybody was burning up, and that's when you just got this horrible, sick feeling, because the poor kids didn't have a choice to come out.
Now, Sheriff McNamara says the biggest lie ever told was that the government set that fire. He says that Koresh and other Branch Davidians set fire to the compound to force his prediction of dying by fire to be resurrected. In total, 86 people died 25 years ago. Live in the control room, Nohely Mendoza, Fox 44 News.
Well, meanwhile, thousands of people have dreams to become famous musicians. Of course, we all want to be one, but the road getting there, that is the hardest. And Fox 44's Nohely Mendoza tonight introduces us to 3 local musicians aiming to make it big right here in Waco.
There's opportunity where you make it. I mean, if there's places, if there's venues, and there's people, then there's your opportunity.
26-year-old Julia Tucker, known to the music community as Tiger Lily, wants to make it big.
Sometimes I remember.
She's one of thousands working tirelessly to make a name for themselves in a difficult industry.
That's the main thing, is to, always make a living doing music, at the very least. And sometimes that might not just be playing, that might be DJing or running sound for people or recording all kinds of different music stuff. But as long as it's music, I'm okay.
Holly Tucker is on her way to the top.
I was shocked by the support that I got, especially from Waco.
The 24-year-old made a name for herself after competing on The Voice.
When the rain is blowing in your face,
I went in there and I did it. I just did the open call auditions with about 7,000 other people in the Irving Convention Center, and I got a yes. Finally, I got a yes, and took me all the way to the top 6 that season.
The Tuckers aren't related, but they share a common thread: Waco.
It's just a really cool community. This magic thing has happened where you drive down Austin Avenue and every business has a different band playing or a different artist, and oh my gosh, I'm so excited about it. Just so excited.
I loved starting out here in Waco because there was such a well-rounded sense of music here, and I could get on big stages or little stages, and I could get all kinds of practice.
Our city of 134,000 is becoming an arts district, with places like Common Grounds, the Melody Ranch, and the Backyard opening doors to local, incoming, and visiting artists. One of those visitors is Rebecca Paul, currently touring the country with a pit stop in Waco.
It seems like Waco, I feel like it's a treasure. It almost makes it more exciting, I feel like, to play in a smaller place because it has somewhere to go. It has something to grow into.
All 3 women had similar beginnings and all performed at music venues to our north and south.
In Austin, you don't get paid because there's always somebody better that can do it for less or for free, for exposure. But Dallas, there's a lot of opportunity in Dallas.
I feel like Dallas is more of a pop and R&B and hipstery type of scene and stuff that's eclectic and out there and super cool and different. Because it's a city, it's a big city. People want that there.
Starting out in the music industry is hard enough. And in fact, not a lot of musicians got their start here. Eric Paisley has roots in Waco, Ashley Simpson was born here, and Willie Nelson went to Baylor University. But none stayed to pursue their careers.
I don't know if it's a stepping stone, but it's been good to me and a lot of people that I know.
But whether it's just starting here or simply calling it home,
you're in Texas.
Waco is a policing oxymoron, big enough and small enough to have a place for all musicians.
I love it, I feel like people are what make a place.
More music friendly, like people are used to having music everywhere here.
For me, Waco was a great place to start out, and people have been supporting me here ever since I started singing, so.
Nohely Mendoza, Fox 44 News. Although this may look like an ordinary Waco home, inside tells a different story.
Makes me feel good, you know. I put my Christmas music and there I go.
Alicia York is a natural-born collector. The inside of her home looks like a museum.
I'm a Victorian person. I like Victorian look.
She began collecting dolls in 1998 and at one point had 300 of all shapes and sizes.
I remember when I was little, I wanted a doll and, you know, I couldn't have it because we were so many kids that we couldn't afford it. But then, and I said, well, look, I got blessed with all these dolls. And I have dolls in every room.
Her dolls inspired another collection.
8, 9, 10, 11.
And a 17-year-old tradition.
This is my favorite one because I started with my dolls.
Alicia now has 11 Christmas trees, each with a different theme.
Any different things, so I decided to kind of make each a tree.
At one point, she had 21 trees, but that all changed after her husband, Hugh, passed away from cancer on June 14, 2015.
When my husband passed away, I just didn't have the desire. I didn't think I was going to do this anymore.
She sold some of her decorations, trees, and even her dolls.
Nothing made me happy. Everything was just sad.
Now, after 2 years of not decorating her trees, this year she did it in memory of her late husband.
I think I'm ready now to start doing this.
Alicia says, like previous years, she'll be inviting her neighbors to visit the decorations, trees, and dolls.
And just enjoy, you know, being friendly with each other. That's what it's all about.
Alicia says, although she loves the decorations and the trees, it's bringing together the community that she loves the most. In Waco, Nohely Mendoza, Fox 44 News.